Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the 8th reporter. So my topic is advantages of probation. So first is prevent crime by giving freedom and rehabilitation only to those convicts who are not likely to recommend violation of penal laws. Example is a person convicted of a minor non-violent offense such as petty theft who has a stable job and family support is granted probation. This allows them to maintain their life and continue contributing to society while under supervision, reducing the likelihood of reoffending compared to serving them in jail. Second is protecting society by placing the probationer under the supervision of a probation officer. Example is probation officer regularly meets with the probationer, monitor their activities, ensure they comply with the condition of their probation, such as attending counseling or avoiding certain place. This supervision helps prevent the probationer from engaging in further criminal behavior and ensures accountability. So third is conforms to the concept of restorative justice. For example is a person convicted of vandalism is placed on probation and required to participate in a community service program to repair the damage they caused. This approach focuses on repairing the harm done to the community and rehabilitating the offender, aligning the participants of restorative justice. Next is gives another chance in life. It provides an opportunity to be rehabilitated to the penitent convict. The example is a young adult convict of a drug-related offense is granted probation with the condition they attend a rehabilitation program. So this provides them with the opportunity to address their addiction issues, gain new skills, and reintegrate into society as a productive members rather than being labeled a criminal for life. Number 5 is preventing first-time convict from becoming hardened criminals. So example is a first-time offender convict of a minor assault is placed on probation instead of being sent to prison. So this prevents them from being exposed to the negative influences and criminal networks within the prison system, reducing the risk of them becoming a career criminal. So number 6 is more economical or less costly on the part of the government. So example is the cost of supervising the probationer in the community is significantly lower than the cost of incarcerating them in a jail or prison. So this allows the government to allocate resources from efficiently investing the rehabilitation program in community service instead of solely relying on incarceration. So number 7 is providing a solution for overcrowded jail and prison facilities. So example is by granting probation to eligible offenders, the number of inmates in jail and prisons is reduced, alleviating overcrowding and improving the living condition for those who remain incarcerated. So this also allows correctional facilities to focus resources on managing more serious and violent offenders. Number 8 is restores successful probationers civil rights. Example is after successfully completing their probation, an individual may have their rights to vote restore, allowing them to fully participate in civic life. So last is number 9, make the probationer a taxpayer instead of tax eater. Example is probationer who is employed in earning incomes pay taxes, contributing to the government revenue. This is in this in this in contrast to an incarcerated individual who is supported by taxpayer money and does not contribute to the economy. Next is statutory attributes of the Philippine probation system. So first is it is a once in a lifetime affair. So in the Philippines, a convicted person is only allowed to avail themselves of the privilege of probation once in their lifetime. If they are convicted again, they cannot apply for probation second time. So example is Robert is convicted of theft and granted probation, which he successfully completes years later. He is convicted of a different crime like fraud. So Robert cannot apply for probation again. He will have to serve the prison sentence for the fraud conviction because he already used his one-time probation opportunity. So next is selective application. So selective application is probation is not available for all crimes in the Philippines. Certain offenses, especially those against national security and those with sentence exceeding 6 years, are included. For example, person A is convicted of espionage, a crime against national security. Person A is eligible for probation regardless of the length of their sentence due to the nature of the crime. So next is personnel under probation certain their civil rights. In the Philippines, individuals on probation generally keeps their civil rights such as the right to vote, practice their professions, or exercise parental authority. However, it seems in some Western countries these rights may be suspended and required a court process for restoration after probations. So number 4 is the suspension of the execution of the sentence is conditional. Violations of any of the condition may cause revocation of the privilege. So when a person is granted probation, their prison sentence is suspended, but this entirely on them adhering to specific rules. Failing to follow the rules can lead to the probation um, being cancelled and the original sentence being imposed. Example is John is granted probation with a condition that he must report to his probation officer every month. If John fails to report for 2 consecutive months without a valid reason, the court can revoke his probation and he will then be ordered to serve his original prison sentence. So number 5 is conditions of probation to the imposed by the court to protect public safety and to foster the rehabilitation and reformation of the probationer. So the court sets specific rules for the probationer to follow. These rules serves two main purposes: to keep the community safe and to help the probationer change for the better. So for example, a person convicted of a drug-related offense is placed on probation. The court imposes conditions such as attending mandatory drugs testing, participating in a rehabilitation program, and avoiding known drug user or dealer. So these conditions are aimed at protecting the public from drug-related crimes and helping the probationer overcome their addiction. So number 6 is jurisdiction of the court is continuing in character. So the court that granted probation retains its authority and oversight over the probationer. throughout the entire period of probation. So it can intervene, modify condition, or revoke probation as needed. So for example, after granting probation, the court observes that the probationer is struggling to find stable employment, which is affecting their ability to meet other conditions. The court existing its continuing jurisdiction can modify a condition to allow the probationer more time to seek employment or mandate participation in a job training program. So demonstrate it in ongoing involvement and control. So number 7 is post-sentence investigation reports is mandatory, which will serve as information guide for the court's decision in granting or denying the same. So before a court decided whether to grant probation, a detailed report is required. This report provides comprehensive information about the convict person, helping the judge make an informed decision. So, for example, after a conviction, a probation officer conduct a post-sentence investigations. This involves interviewing the offender, the family, employers, and victims, checking their criminal records and assessing their social and psychological background. So the resulting report, which include a recommendation, is then submitted to the judge, who use it as a basis to decide whether to grant or deny probation to the offenders. So number 8 is supervision, guidance, and assistance by the probation. A probationer officer actively monitors, advises, and helps the probationer comply with the condition of their probation and reintegrated into society. So example is probation officer provides guides to a probationer on how to manage their finances, help them find resources for mental health counseling, and conduct regular home visits for supervision to ensure they are following the rules and making positive progress. Next is probation application. So first is who may apply. So only offenders who have been convicted by the final judgment and sentenced with imprisonment and fined with a subsidiary imprisonment are eligible to apply for probation, provided they are not specifically disqualified by the law. So where to file? So the application for probation must be filed when the same trade court that heard the case tried you decided in your guilt and impose you to decide in his and impose the penalty. So no other court has the authority to handle the probation application. So next is when to file. So the application must be filed when the trial court at any time after conviction and sentence, but within 15 days from the promulgation judgment or within the period prior of protecting her appeal. The filing of an application for probation is jurisdictional. The time of filing shall be within the period for perfecting an appeal. Under the revised rule of court, the period of perfecting an appeal is